Good morning, afternoon, good evening, good weekend. Whenever you're listening to me, good day. So, how is everyone doing today? This is Rich, just Rich, four letters, that's all. So, just wanted to welcome everyone today. And if this is your first time, welcome. And if you're trying to figure out who I am, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. I think everyone else is too. But I come here every week as a way to provide some hope, some encouragement, um, just some crazy thoughts, thing that you're probably thinking, but I'm thinking them and I'm just saying them because it's my show. So, so we're in the Christmas season. And so I wanted to bring up a word today that I hadn't heard from my days back in the 70s. And since I'm older than most of you all here, let me share a little bit of the past. So today's word is rad. Now, back in the day, we used to say things like groovy and far out and mod and rad. So rad is really a short version of the word radical. And I think we are not radical enough. We're comfortable. So I want to talk about the people who are comfortable and aren't radical. And so I have three words today because that's what I do every week. I bring three words to the table and I discuss them. And usually they're words that are relevant for the week, things that have happened in our business, in the Council on Aging, dealing with seniors. So we're going to analyze the word rad. So the first one is R. What does R mean? I think R means, now you may not be able to see it, but it's responsible. I think we have an issue of people who are not radical, who have a problem being responsible. Now, what does being responsible mean? I think responsible means that if you say something, that's what you're going to do. You're going to respond for what you say. Again, back in the day, it used to be when your word was your word. If you said something, you were going to do it. Now, I can remember when my mom would say, "You need to go pick this up." I guarantee you, we went and picked it up because we were responsible. And if not, there were consequences. Hmm, consequences. I could do a whole thing just on consequences, but we don't fear consequences. We don't worry about consequences. Eh, schmeh. Responsible. I think we're really losing that word. There are so many words that are disappearing from our vocabulary. And that's why sometimes every week I want to bring out different words that we just don't use in our vocabulary anymore. So, when's the last person that you know said, I'm pretty darn responsible? Or when have you said, you know what, that person is really responsible? Nah, I just think it's a radical word for some people. But let's go on to A. A. Ooh, you're another good one. Now, I could think of a short letter word for A, but no, we're going to stick within the theme. Accountable. Now there's another word, is accountable. Because if you're not responsible, then you're not accountable. Some people have a real hard time being accountable. Well, yeah, I said that, but I didn't really mean it. A lack of accountability. If you're going to say you're going to do something, then you need to do it. And we need to hold you accountable or there'll be consequences. Oh, that's right. We don't do consequences anymore. Oh, okay. All right. So radical people. They could be responsible. They could be accountable. Oh, I'm getting excited just thinking about the possibilities. But yet, rad is just an old word from old hippie dudes from back in the day. Ah, man, D. Darn. No. Oh, man, another three-letter word I could think of too, but no. Let's stick with the theme here today. I tend to go off on these bunny trails sometimes, so I gotta stay focused. Rad. Responsible. Accountable. Here's a good one. Dependable. Ooh, dependable. So here's a word that has so many meanings. But dependable for me is if you say you're going to do what you're going to do, you're going to mean what you mean that you're going to mean, and I can count on it. I can take it to the bank. Dependable. 2 a.m. in the morning. Hey, Joe, I need you. Now that's dependable. How many people are really dependable that you can count on? Well, it depends. Well, if it depends, then they're not dependable. So again, words have so many meanings. So when I was thinking this week of radical, um, I like to think of myself sometimes as being radical. And radical is not always a bad thing. Sometimes when we need to get here, but everybody is here, how do we get people to come here? Sometimes we need to be radical, to go way out here to at least get people to come halfway, which happens to be where we need people to be. That to me is radical. So, how does that relate to what we do here? I believe that the Council on Aging, we're a radical organization in a good way. We're radical. We're very responsible. We're responsible with the finances that people entrust us for. We're good stewards. We're accountable. If we say something, we're going to do it. And when you ask us to do something and we're not, there are consequences. In fact, people will tell you, I'm full of consequences. They may not be upfront. Oh, there's consequences. But we all have to be accountable. And again, take a look at society as a whole. And people always say, "Oh, you just broad brush or stereotype everyone." No, no. But again, it's really about trends, overall feelings, overall what we see. And if you don't see it, then good. You live in a nice world, and there's rainbows in your yard and unicorns, and that's fine. That's fine. But in the world I kind of go through, I see a lot of people who aren't responsible, who are not accountable, and I want our agency, because seniors need, demand, deserve people who can be responsible and accountable, and most importantly, dependable. You can depend on the Council on Aging to be there for your needs. We may not always have the answer, but we're going to be here. And I tell staff all the time is that that's who we are. And if that's not who you are, then this isn't the place for you, because the Council on Aging is way bigger than just a name, just a building. We are a movement. We're a radical movement to show the world that we're radical by being responsible, by being accountable, by being dependable. We have volunteers who fit this to a T. We have staff that they're the model. Now, I'm not the best model for these things, but like my dad used to say, do as I say, not as I do. I do try. I do try. But it is hard, and I get it. But there's a price. There's a price, and many aren't willing to pay the price to be radical because there are too many consequences by being responsible or accountable or dependable. We're imperfect. There are going to be days we'll let people down, but we need to get back to taking a look at how can I be radical in this world who is very complacent, very laid back. The world's going to serve me. That's what I'm looking for, some radical people out there. So today, think about how you might be radical. Maybe you might leave the cap off the ketchup. That would be radical. So think about who you are, and you may be all these things, and great. And if you are, come on, we need you here. So go forth, be radical, be different, be the butterfly that flies amongst the cocoons. So this has just been Rich, just one word, Rich, just like Cher, Madonna, Rich. Have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. Love you guys. I say peace out.